Hi guys and welcome back to another video on the wrestling review. You this is your NXT weekly thoughts for the death week, and I actually enjoyed this sh- show. It was a lot better than or a lot more happening. You can see that it's night and day between the two products. Raw and SmackDown are in the middle ease of just they don't really know where to go with certain storylines, or random title changes. But um, in NXT, it's a bit different. So to start us off, we start with Tatum Paxley in there, and she thanks the fans for their support. She dedicates the NXT North American Women's Championship win to them. She's found their confidence, the reason why she played with girls is to hide their insecurities. As a dame comes out and she says, let's remind people who you used to be, i.e. Tatum, and then she plays a highlight package of the breakout to ornament where she loses to now SmackDown. A wrestler with Ash Legend, the upheaval and Diamond Mine, um, obviously obviously on the non-Ivan IO, basically illustrating as a dame doesn't recognise the growth that Tatum Paxley has gone through, but um, um, but then we got back to the and as he says, it's time to stop pretending, give me back my NXT North American um, championship. You don't deserve it. All these fans have the exaggeration. Everybody in the back doesn't want you to have it. Nobody likes your and then um and then Tatum refuses. She turns around to see Spears and hands on the apron. As a demo levels her with a punch. The demo over, and she's left in the ring. As he holds a North American Championship. So currently this feud isn't over, and it has been built up to with in the back you see Ethan Page and Ricky Saints talk strategy before the big tag match with um, Joe Hendry and Miles on. The um, or Aki said is to Ethan, it's time for you to become a two-time NXT North American champion. Ethan says Vengeance Day sucked for him. Ethan Page says the last 2 weeks is so, or, or him, Arame, or Aki Saint says, I remember how good it was being NXT um, cha- cha- champion, and he wants it again. But even then irks up, and then as if to say he wants it, but we'll get to the main event because it is a good event, and we will get to that eventually, guys. But our first match is obviously Jasper or Troy taking on Sean O'Legacy and Eli Knight. Now the three have kind of been walked in a mini feud as of late over the speed title. But as we know, guys, Eli Overfiller were shocked at the NXT fans by winning just for Archer. And this match from the early when did have um Troy a certain dominance, but then as soon as he gets eliminated from the action, it's Legacy and Knight that fight for a bit. Yannicka Harver shows up and he takes out Jasper Troy, putting him through the table. And it only looks as though it's going to be down tonight and Legacy to fight it out. Some good traditional wrestle. Next in my pie for Iron Organ. Legacy hits the dive out to out at ringside onto Knight. Then you have Jasper or Troy eventually get it back up from the piano cover attack. That attack was done by the way because Troy can't keep Carver's mouth, can't keep Carver's name out his mouth. He says that to Booker T. Obviously, Booker T and Carver have that history from LFG. Jasper Troy gets back in and he tries his best to hold off Sean Legacy and Eli Knight. A few power moves, but he's holding his ribs after going through the table. Then it's up to Eli Knight and Sean Legacy to then take back a bit of control. Legacy hits a springboard 450 when Knight hits him, and so they both do a double over intro, and it's the way up to the table and the match. Very creative finish here. And you get, as we see later on, guys, as we see later on, guys, they did initially have, they did initially have ambitions of challenging Elio with the ruler, but, um, but, but with, well, demands changes to the tournament structure. Sure he wants him now. House on said have me time to fix it, and um and then the and and then one actually says he's no done though with the tag team titles situation. There'll be a tag team title tournament. Um, starting next week. Um, and then we'll Legacy and Eli Knight said put a pin in the speed title for now we were on, and he said I would like where the ashes go. Stone says he likes them, but the one no one give me some time to sort that. So Tatum Paxton is Raymond backstage where it is actually as he she says to Shiloh, oh have you seen it? As he's like no I have no I have and but then Kate responds I need to see her before she leaves and uh, and the and Shiloh says if or she leaves I have an idea and he's working on a new tool so like I don't know how to explain it but then later on in the night you see out in the parking lot to take out the wheels of the wheels of the cars so nobody can go anywhere. Robert Stone gets vexed and he says um and he says what the hell is all the noise? Why is all the cars get no wheels? And Shiloh says, hang on him, and I didn't know what it was a go and car, so I took the called the wheels off. Yeah, a very fun segment. Then you get the flight preparing for Uriah Honors and for Uriah Honors and Charlie Dem uh, for Uriah Honors and Alexis King's tag match with Avion Heights and Charlie Dempsey. Um, um, so Ing says to honors the Jamaican all and on said they're on their way and he says are confident that this will work. So then you get to the second match of the night, the tag team match of the former the UCC heights and heights and the MC up against Honors and a very short match as obviously Honors and heights I think that they're only come back into the match and take control, but they get distracted by Origa Owen Finn. He coming down there. Um, obviously Charlie Dempsey on heights, German Super X is Chuck's heights and for Chuck's heights and for and he hits the ordination and he gets a 30 count, so Charlie Dempsey joins up with the rest of the fight, and cause obviously Charlie Dempsey's the son of William Reed. Oh, you get Uriah Honors, as I've said before, is the son of Finn. Um, Ariana raised as a daughter of Santino Marell uh, and Anon Exis and as the son of the late Brian Pillman and and you've got Axe who's the fiance of Ariana Race. So yeah, very good addition. A very good addition, and I like the fact that the off-right show up as a addition to the next in line competitors. Will use the wrestling business should be generational rather than or other than rather than having other athletes take up professional wrestling. Then you get the then you get obviously well Aikman and the Rosary reaction to beating Jada apart, or she says Saint isn't standing still ever will be all about her now that she's moved on. Now that she's moved um now that she's moved on from Jade. Ah, um, Tatum Patzel, Tatum Patzel, he, it's a Rosser interview with H. Howard, and she said, and she says, hey, oh, H, have you seen, as have you seen Izzy anywhere? And she says, no, I haven't. And as he goes off to find her, and the rose is to Howard, you need to change your name because I kill and everything else that on the name. So yeah, so yeah, get with them segment and here, then you get Tony D'Angelo out to the and it a or saying even though the spices dark state and Dion was and uh, Dion so and out on his shield. He left the dark state one. And so now so I'm gonna view the second reason why he came back to NXT. Uh, and he said the second reason is because he wants to become NXT champion. He says to Joe O'Hendry, I have no issue with you. I don't hate you, but I don't like you. Um, th- this isn't personal, but this is your one warning. I will be in NXT champion, so he issues a warning, and you get a very good promo. As I said, I like the theme music. He also said the mafia version of Tony D'Angelo would sit you down and have a conversation, but that's Tony D'Angelo's more direct, and I do like the new direction of the character. The theme music suits him, and I like the visual presentation. Um, this is a Tony D'Angelo that's more direct and what he wants to do from a character um standpoint. So yeah, um, so yeah, there's the so in the back, so in the back of and Kendall can congratulate Miles on his NXT North American Championship victory, or and or and says she's that he kicked the on under the ring UCC but uh, but then she feels the need for uh he as she gets ready for a match with um as she gets ready for a match with yeah he won the speed number one contenders tournament finals and the winner goes on to face Val and Henry. Um so so the is so Endo another and to get to uh a film match with um uh, um a film match with a full exist and no Ethan Page or another Saints um and having Joe O'Hendry as a partner. They go off and find Joe Hendry as or the ensign kill. Here is a big fan of Joe O'Hendry. Hendry. So he says to Kendall, I remember one time he was in the fridge, so let's go and find Joe. She says his name Joe Hendry, and and then he's all like hi, and and she's all like are supposed to be in the fridge, and he's like, nah, I've been there, done that. And there was, as he like a sponge, he, um, so yeah, that was actually right funny, so you, uh, so yeah, that was a good, segment. So then the next month is obviously then Elsie's, yeah, he'll in the finals of the speed tournament, obviously, obviously this, Um, obvi so this is a short term, ch- w- 1 minute, 50 seconds to go. Oh, there's obviously a 3 minute timer, and or anything. How here has the final and switch the categorization on your heel, she taps and answers to the Sean Houston with the and get confirmation of the tag to a tournament. Don't also the tag teams and the off right the off right so right Hank and Hank um basically all the teams in the tag division dark state of here he says OTM haven't showed up yet. And they start fighting with dark state or later on Robert Stone it confirmed because of the role that dark state and OTM would be kicked out and the first match of the tournament will be Hank and Hank up against the off right and of course Eli Knight and Sean say have joined up as a team, so they are now in the mix. So it'll be an interesting tag tournament. Obviously, OTM and Dark State have obviously rescinded their participation as a result of the role that they've been kicked out. So then Will of Ice has a chat with Soul up backstage. Soul she's the um Soul she's determined to become an NXT champion, but she's got on any right to focus on. She's got on any right to focus son yeah, got all as soon as you walk out as NXT champion that'll be me stand until ever. So actually is I need to get it by JC and Zaria. First, she's still a bit down about Zaria on and on her. Will then offer some support and as a nice segment, and that would be a match I'd to look forward to. But here we go with the here we go with the fourth match of the night. You have any Reid up against Soul. Uh, Soul gets the upper hand in the early one, but before we go on to the ad, alright, JC gets involved. She threatens to punch him, but the Soul is back in the ring. JC holds her own egg among any actually takes control, even hitting a brilliant crucifix um and for a very close near fall, but then Sofa it's back to a super kicking for a star offense and then hits her eventually, but after who snatcher and gets to and she's definitely snatched Sean's heart as well. See what I did to on so then she beats she beats Amy and now that was a really good competitive match and JC looks a bit of the and a bit worried. In the back after the match, shortly yeah, after RUCJ, Jane and Fatal influence a promo with obviously Bill Coward. Um, yeah, somehow they do heading into the match next week with if obviously will any losing the match tonight and now you can send if shows momentum and JC and JC says our WrestleMania season's been full of a shock title changes. Cody Rhodes winning the world title. Tatum Paxson winning the NXT North American title, but it's not going to happen in Houston in the triple threat match. And then Foul and says, I know what you're going to ask next. Do you think anything will he'll beating me for the women's speed title? Not when it happened. The segment it feeds into fatal influences paranoia here so yeah there's that so I or so so I right find out from Stone that they have to defend their NXT tag titles at standing till ever. I do apologize. I thought they were in the office when Stone said that, but obviously they were. Erin, they said this don't you wish to be cool, but before that confrontation when they showed up, he says to Bill, he covered the Bill not at all any inappropriate roles in my office. That's what I OTM and dark state of this all fight speaking of not being able to tolerate and then that's when the confrontation happens with someone like Brighton. I do agree with Robert still owns some like right or an line well the are actually vanity project because the action jury he can actually show up as well who's the evolving and champion. Obviously in the back as well, Tatum Pathway and as we aim have another role as a she's Robert Stone's had enough of and he says you can have your rematch next week. He can listen. He then gives Vic Joseph the opportunity to make the other announcement he was going to make, and it actually says it's going to be a key appreciation night, and obviously you'll see Yano Carver get involved because that feud has been simmering for a long time. Um, and yeah, so that's fine. And the main event, guys, it's and the main event, guys, it's my on and Joe Hendry up against Saints and Page, and yeah, so there's further action between Page and Hendry. Rick um are the Saints and in the North American Championship and it this year at Ethan. Then you've got then you've got the whole structure ash of Ethan actually pinning Joe Hendry to get them and to enter the match. Again, it was a really good match with a lot of star well to a lot of fast paced so and I don't really want to hold you up too long. That's why I have skimmed through it, and looks as though there's erection now between Age and Saints as Ethan's done with it Ricky wouldn't Panjo or Henry, but like before the realization sets in and before all the referee raises his hand, he does his iconic pose with the smile in his hand like this, and he says to Niles on, I'm back up here, you're back down the here. Absolutely a fantastic development in character wise and and Saints begins to realize as soon as his hand is Ethan, as I know, aimed for the shot as he's pinned Henry, and he realised that he couldn't, so there'll be further action between the two, and could we get an Ethan Page face on, because that's how it's heading, because obviously he now is kind of more the ultra a heel, and it was the other way about a few months ago, but yeah, that's how developments um have kind of manifested, but yeah, guys, pretty good NXT. I'll probably give it an 8.5 out of 10. Pretty good, and definitely a well deserved ton for a very uneventful Raw, or apart from the Judgment Day segment. It was very by the numbers, but this was alright, and on we go to the special episode in Houston, and then we march on to the road to stand and deliver well with family on the road. That'll be a couple of weeks before WrestleMania. It doesn't fall on WrestleMania weekend due to ticket sales not been as prominent, but yeah, and that's the way it goes when you inflate prices. I don't well the raw or or any digital auction shows up in the details that are hanging over WWE. But yeah, remember to if thumbs up the video, share it, and comment in the comment section. You can shut up, Tev, and I'll see you very soon.